And welcome back. We didn't get much of a break in between that, as we now have a new tornado warning, several tornado warnings. As we pull back up, and let's go to Meridian Honda radar, and this is where we are tonight. Some very serious storms making their way across Kemper County, Neshoba County, and Newton County. So we have three counties that are now under a tornado warning. Let's dive into this and see where we are and see where the areas of concern are. All right, let's go into northern Newton County. Now, they also have a severe thunderstorm warning, as you'll see right here. This is going to last until 10 o'clock. And this tornado warning also will expire at 10 o'clock. Now, all three counties tie into this. Let's look at what we've got. We've got two different cells that are causing this to go off. Our first one, pretty serious storm as we look at this. This is of that scale of 1 to 10 that we've talked about. This is coming in at a 7.1. Anytime that you have these over this, they can be very, very dangerous. Anything over a 7 can easily touch down and cause damage. So what we want you to do if you live in this area, heed this warning. Go to your safe place now. We're looking at 81 mile an hour shear winds with this. As we look at this right there, 81 miles an hour. This will be at DeKalb in 30 minutes. So we want you to pay close attention to this. And now this goes on toward the Kemper County area as we look at this. I'm just glancing over as we talk here of what we've got. As always, we love your reports of what you see. It helps us pass along what is happening here. Now, this just gets a little bit more interesting there for Kemper County as we look at this. This is right outside of Union, this first one of this 81 mile an hour shear winds. We're going to look at what the shear winds are doing, and then we're going to go back and look at the locations of where they are. Again, with this tornado, there's three different cells here that are causing this. Both of these are coming in at a 7.1. The second one, this third one, also a 7.1 and 81 mile an hour shear winds. If we back out of this and look at this direction of where this is all headed, this is going to go just north of DeKalb. Let's turn on locations here and see where we are and what is going on with this storm. As you see here, now this is really, really close to our friends here at Talbot. Kenny, if y'all are in that neighborhood paying attention tonight, pay close attention to this, of what's going on around you there. Dangerous situation. All right, let's back up and look at this Kemper Lake. This is in line to go toward Kemper Lake, and also if you're right here at Cleveland at the old swimming pool there on Highway 16, get to a safe place now. Let's start where we are on the front end of this, and we're going to go from Newton into Neshoba and then on into Kemper County to let you know where this is. Let's go right outside of Union, Mississippi is what we're going to do. I'm going to have to, some of this this writing a little small, so we're going to zoom in on this. Here's the Dollar General. If we go due south, southeast of there, down Highway 15 over to Highway 494, just off of there, out through the pine trees we go. And if we were to go up Yates Road, this is getting ready to cross Yates Road. If you live in the Yates Road community, on this road anywhere right here, be prepared to get to your safe place now. This is going northeasterly from there. This will cross right over this is Greenland Road is where this is, where it joins in with Rock Creek Road. Right in that general area, get to your safe place. A very dangerous storm as it heads toward Highway 19. And again, that's really, really close here to Talbot Enterprises. We go back just northeasterly outside of Union on 492. Of course, this is 2-lane all the way over to Highway 19. This is basically sitting on top of Highway 492. If you live in this area, use extreme caution and get to your safe place, to your tornado shelter. County Line Church, County Road 272. If you live there, County Road 262 right there. Now, what is it doing? This thing is putting off 81 mile an hour shear winds as it moves across the county. It will be at House at 9:24. So you've got 6 minutes if you live in the House community anywhere along here on Highway 492 to get to your safe place. We don't want you to waste any time on this. Let's look at some of these major roads that it's going to cross. County Road 503. It will cross there where it comes across 272. And then right here, it will cross County Road 505, that general direction. And this, too, it just follows right along the edge of 492. Now, with a tornado, as we all know, this can be very wide. It doesn't mean that just because it's not sitting right here that it can't be following here and do damage. Now, we go back down here. This shear wind here is clocked down some now to 70 miles an hour, so 1 mile wide storm there. Now, again, this will head up as we look here. This is 491. This is Talbert Enterprises as it crosses Highway 19. This is going to go right through the pastures where the cars are parked there and into that sharp curve as it goes on around 491 right there. You've been in that curve before. You know exactly where I'm talking about. This will move right on into Kemper County. Now, to give you a place of where we are, right there is going to be the Damascus Fire Department. Now, this is included in the tornado warning, but the center of the storm will go just due north of there, right past this, the Old Jackson Road. We'll go up 495 a ways, and this will cross on up here as we look at this. We run into here. Here's the Cleveland area where we were pointing this out a while ago. This is where it's kind of crossing. 16 and Highway 495, right through here. Y'all see this right there, and it's going to cross 16 about right there where the swimming pool is. Use caution. Go ahead and get to that safe place. And again, as we've mentioned several times, if you live in a mobile home, don't waste any time. Get to somewhere that you can go. And I hope you've already got a plan of where you could go and be in a shelter, a sturdy place. If you live in a home, you don't have a shelter, get to the interior walls of your home to safety. If you're in the hallway, get in a bathtub, get down, those areas like that. Now, the rain is really picked up here as we get up on Highway 19 as 492 will run right into 19. Look at the rain that is coming down. Now, as we've looked at this, we've had shear winds move across. This is updated, and we've got it just to the pasture due behind Talbert Enterprises here, the eye of this storm on the northern end of it. Again, as we look at this, this has picked up intensity. 92 miles an hour. If you live on Highway 491, let me get my story straight here. And again, this runs on up and would run into Ford Store eventually up here. But this is 491. It will junction with 486 is where the line is there, and then that goes on into Philadelphia. But Kenny and the gang, y'all be cautious there. Get in your safe place. We have this second leg that is going to go just south of where Talbert Enterprises is and cross 19 before you get to the intersection there at 492. We're going to zoom in on this. Look at our shear winds on this. This also clocking along at 92 miles an hour. A very serious storm as we look at this. Now, let's back off. It will be in DeKalb in 26 minutes. So you've got roughly a half hour if you're in Kemper County there. Now, what this does is this crosses 19. Let's zoom in on this. Let's look at these roads where this is going. Bethel Church, right in this area there where County Road 4304 is, where it joins in 4304 here, 4306 on the other side of 19. We'll cross both of these. This will go northeasterly toward Kemper County and cross County Road 298 as this makes its way toward Kemper. Now, y'all look at this. It eventually, again, crosses 491, and then right into Kemper County she goes. This is that loop road here that circles back 723 in Neshoba County and comes right back in. Here's Hester Cemetery, Hester's Chapel Cemetery here. Right through there. Now we're into Kemper County. Let's follow this. Here's Old Jackson Road. If you live anywhere in the vicinity of Old Jackson Road and Highway 495, anywhere in between there and the Damascus Fire Department, Lisa, you paying attention. Y'all know y'all live in this area right along in there. Y'all be careful. Jump on this. Get to your safe place also. Here's the coal plant. It's going to be due north of there. Right over here is the fire department at New Hope. That's the New Hope Volunteer Fire Department. It'll go just due north of there. Both of these kind of following along. Kenny, you've got some strong winds right over you right now there. I see lightning through my window in the distance as I look out.
Lightning is pretty bad.
Yeah, it is bad out there. Let's look here. Now, here is what we've got. This is going to be coming into DeKalb, and this will be a straight line if it stays on track. Now, I want you all, everybody that is in this area at the Kemper Hospital. Y'all look at this. This is headed right in that direction of the Kemper County Hospital. John C. Stennis Hospital, if you were there, you need to seek shelter now. If you're in that area, Kemper County, the hospital, Kemper Academy, West Kemper, all along in there at the hospital, y'all do need to take shelter immediately, get the patients to where you would need to go. This is a straight line headed in that direction. Now, again, I don't want to panic anybody and tell you that there's a tornado on the ground. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying the path of this tornado is headed in that direction of where the hospital is. Be very cautious there. Take care of you folks. Get to your safe place, and then no one will get hurt.
You could just say like it's up in the air.
Well, it is. It's radar indicated is what we've got. But we always look at this as worst case scenario. We don't want anyone hurt. We take the precautions. Everybody will be good. Now, as we look at this, let's look at the big picture as this goes right on through DeKalb and passes over the areas. Here's Kemper Lake. It will be just due south of there. Now, it's not meaning that we can't have wind and damage out there. The line's going to be just north of Kemper Lake and right there where Spring Hill Volunteer Fire Department is. This will go just due north of Highway 16, and this will head toward the Wahala community, all the back roads as you cross the dummy line and you go through this. Now, right here at Scuba, now this is going to put it where those who used to live there know what I'm talking about where the old dump was. Y'all remember that, where that was. And then right along in here is going to be where the horses are, the new stable. It's going to be just shy of reaching the stables there and the football stadium. 16 there as we look at this. This is going to be Townsend Road back here is that. Right here is Wahala. That's going to be the Baptist Church in Wahala. If this were to stay on its path, it would split in between Scuba and Wahala and come across Presley Bottom right through there and then go out Old Highway 45 toward Bennsville in that area. That's what we're following and looking at in those areas there across Kemper County. Now let's go back here and look at what we've got in Newton County. It's still pouring rain back at the Dollar General there, just east of there, Highway 492. Let's look at our wind speeds as we get this update. We're still shear winds. Let me get zoomed in. It's not wanting to act right on top of that. We're still at 81 mile an hour shear winds on this. And again, this is rating of a 7.1. Let's look right here at Talbert Enterprise. Kenny is right on y'all. I need to check in on Kenny to make sure that they're all good on that area there. If you're going to be on County Road 4300, seek your shelter. We're showing that this rating is a 7, and from there, this is leaving here and headed straight to Moscow. It will jump over to Cleveland and Bluff Springs in no time flat within 14 minutes. As we do this, let me just check on this here as we look at this. All right, let's see here. I got a text from Kemper County. Yeah, I had someone on the east side of Kemper wanting to know if they were all right. It's moving on that west side at this point there. They didn't. They were in their storm shelter. As we look at this, all right. Now, this watch box area, as I said, is going to cut just shy of reaching at Scuba. It will go down and take in all the way to the Chicken Shack. All right. The Cowboy Church is also going to be included in this tornado warning as we look at that. So all of our friends here in Portable, y'all need to seek your shelter also. Now we're showing that as we go back here. Rain has reached Highway 493 now, where the coal plant is. It's heavy rain, but it's not near as heavy as the rain that is moving through Damascus and up Highway 495 at this point. The rain now pushing out of Union. It won't be long till we'll see this tornado warning dropped out of Newton County. They'll drop that in just a moment. And as they just did that, as we opened our mouth, that's gone now. We now pick it up right here, just on the other side of Highway 19, as our watch box. Right there is going to be Talbert Enterprises, and right across the road, we would put it less than a half a mile across Highway 19. Then we move strictly toward Kemper County of what we've got going on. Now, as I look out here, we've got this tornado warning. I know we have a lot of people that are just across that Bama state line. Gainesville, such a historic, beautiful town there. We've got a lot of wind coming at Gainesville. There's no warnings there other than a thunderstorm warning. 58-mile-an-hour shear winds at Gainesville and 2 different places right in there around Gainesville, right at the river. Y'all pay attention to those areas as well. Now, again, here's East Mississippi Community College right here. This is going to be the Giles Community, Highway 16 east of there. Heavy, heavy rain. You've got a stretch from Townsend Road right outside of DeKalb all the way into Scuba. Now, as you get north of here, and again, the dummy line is going to be somewhere about right here. If you'll get out in here in this old Scuba road that takes you back to DeKalb, it is pouring rain in that area. Hopefully you're not out on traveling a dirt road tonight, but if you are in those areas there, it's going to get mighty slick very quick as we look at that. Now, again, our watch box covers that area there around the lake. We do, again, urge anybody that is in downtown DeKalb, especially at the hospital, that being one of the biggest places that we have there, to seek shelter now. This is a tornado warning. It does have the eye of this storm headed in that direction toward the hospitals across that area there in DeKalb.
Where is it in Philadelphia?
Philadelphia has light rain. It is the extreme southeastern corner of Neshoba County there at House. Doesn't make it to Tucker. It's going to be there from House, Mississippi up to Ford Store in that area there. Now, as we look at this, it looks as though we're just down to Kemper County now. We may have just dropped it to Kemper County. I think that's what it's doing.
On 491?
491, yes.
Okay.
All right, yeah, so now what we've got is Neshoba County has dropped their tornado warning. We move across into Kemper, and we're still showing this right here. Let me turn this off and show you that. And again, this goes until 10 o'clock for these areas here. Let me refresh this. This is giving conflicting information. Let me refresh this. It's acting as if the whole thing has been dropped, and I'm not so sure of that. Let's see here. Let me turn this back on, then I'm going to check my second area to see what the National Weather Service is saying here. All right, hang on. Let's go here and look across here. Hang on. We're getting there. I need to refresh something to get logged in to see what we got.
I think you need to go out in the sun a little bit.
Yeah, it gets a little bright with these lights, don't it? All right, let's see what we got. Let's see, 928 continues for Kemper County and Neshoba County. That is still there. The tornado is located near Damascus, or 16 miles southeast of Philadelphia, moving north at 50 miles an hour. So this is coming across just like we've been tracking it there, right there on 495. We have a tornado warning. That's Lawrence County from the East Mississippi storm. The area of greatest concern is about to cross into southwestern Kemper County. That was just put out 3 minutes ago. All right, let's go back to radar and pull this up where we can look at that. That's just a malfunction with what's going on there. Let's see. And that is the absolute wrong. Here is where I need to go. All right, let's go back to this. As we look at this again, this area that we've been watching, this watch box right there going toward DeKalb, is the center of this as it reaches 495. And it's been back and forth of having the eye of the storm showing it of the wind shear of what's involved with this. The last we clocked was definitely right around 80 miles an hour. We have roughly about 27 minutes remaining on this to the top of the hour for this tornado warning to expire for Kemper County. We do expect them to pull this out in Neshoba County before long. Now, as we're looking at this, let's glance up north there and just look at our friends just due north of that area.
Do you think our friend Ricky is good? He's asking.
491. Yes, he's. What we're looking at right there is right there at House is where this strong storm is. Right here at House, Mississippi. Let's turn this back on here. And again, as I checked in with Kenny and them, they're safe at this time. That's great. That's right there. All of this area here is what's been concerned. This stretch from right here at Talbert Enterprises over to 495, right there at the Volunteer Fire Department. Look how strong this is. And again, this goes right up to Highway 16. Here's Ford's store, and of course that new Dollar General that they built not long ago. Right there. This comes across, and that is the old elementary there. Right there. Cleveland community where that is. But the rain in between here, and as we zoom in on this, Old Jackson Road, if you've got to travel that tonight for any reason, I'd hold off quite a while. Let this get out of there. Old Herbert Cemetery, County Road 4300 is covered with rain as we go into Kemper County. As we look at this, now again, this is 495. This is going to be here at the Damascus Fire Department. As you reach 495, that junction, am I not right that there's a little small store that sits right there, or it used to be, at the four-way? I think I'm right. Fire Department. All right. And as we go up to 495 and cut right across, here's that block. It goes into 16. Takes in Kemper Lake. It's going to miss our friends up in Preston. Y'all don't have anything to worry about. Cyples Mills is in the clear. That's not part of the watched area tonight. And this will go just shy of reaching Scuba, as we talked about just a little bit ago. Now, this severe thunderstorm warning cuts off at DeKalb. Now, it's raining over here at Scuba as it passes through, and that's going to go right on. The further north that you get of Giles and you get out here to the Bennsville area, the heavier it is. Right there at Bennsville, here's the United Methodist Church that sits there in the curve at White House Mountain. We're looking at, that's a 3-3 storm. Nothing to be too overly concerned about, but it is windy there. You got some cows. It's going to knock down some fence lines, and you're going to be repairing fences back in this area right along in there. We've got 2 of those cutting across there. As we look at this, that front edge of that carrying that same rating. No difference in between that. But as you zoom in on this in Kemper County, you cut across here. Here's the church right there. Here's the Bennsville Cemetery right there. Been there many, many, many times with that dirt road, and then that'll run you back over to Highway 16 through the backwoods in those areas there. All right, let's go back and look at what we're looking at here. Lots of rain there around Geiger, and you get east of Gainesville. Look at that activity there. There's no warning, but boy, at the rain and 70-mile-an-hour shear winds that you've got just across the river, headed to Moundville in that area.
Look at the picture I just posted. I guess the tornado in Massfield. It is insane looking.
Now, where is this at?
On your Facebook page.
I'm talking about, where did you say this was at earlier?
Bassfield.
Bassville? Okay, yeah, I do see that.
It is insane.
That was a huge storm earlier. That is a monster. That's some of the things that have gone on tonight as we look around.
I don't think I would have the legs to go outside and take a picture of that. I would be terrified. To go outside and look.
Tornadoes, they spook me. I'm not going to lie. I respect them very much, and I hope everybody else does that are around these storms. They're nothing to play with. When we tell you to seek shelter, please do. It's not worth your life, not in any shape, form, or way. Let's go back and pull up that radar, Madison, where everybody can see as we look at this. Let's look at all around of what we've got going on right now. Lauderdale County, light rain. That's good news. Light rain in over Newton County. It's all moved out around Union, Montrose, those areas. A little bit of rain. We got something we're watching down here around McGee that's wanting to do some build up there, some sheer winds with it, but not much punch to it. Down here, though, Monticello, we do have a tornado warning in this area around Brookhaven. As we look at this, let's zoom in on this storm and see what we got there. 58-mile-an-hour sheer winds. And then this will be until 9:45. It's got about 5 or 6 minutes left on that. And if you look at that, you see the direction that would travel. We're not out of this yet. Will that become something? We hope not, but could it? Yes. There's more back down here. And again, all this moving northeasterly. Let's turn this on where y'all can see how these storms are making their paths. You see that northeasterly motion? So whatever's going on over in Louisiana and these areas is going to affect east central Mississippi. Let's turn that back off. Another area of concern that we're watching here that may have it's still going on there. Let's move up to Kosciuszko. A lot of this rain in here will be headed right back to Starkville in that area. If you've got kids that are still in school, I want you to look at this just west of there. This tells us we've had damage from earlier, damage to a home, radar confirmed tornado that did strike here. This is Highway 82 in that general area west of Starkville. It didn't hit in Starkville, but in the next county over, not far from there. We have damage. Look at all of this that we've had done. Here's Kosciuszko north of there. Here's west. We talked about that a few hours ago. Some damage up in that area as we look at that. A funnel cloud was spotted northeast of Lexington. That's in the delta there. Right there, I didn't click on it, did I? Tornado was reported northeast of west. So we had several right in there earlier tonight. And still a lot of rain going on with that. Up in the Delta, Greenwood, deep in the Delta, we've got heavy, heavy rain. And coming in here at the Mississippi River, more of the same in that area. Utah, Alabama, y'all be careful with what you're doing. You've got a lot of activity. There is no tornado warning. There is a severe thunderstorm warning in that area. But as you'll look at that, you do have 81-mile-an-hour shear winds with that. For whatever reason, the National Weather Service out of Mobile did not kick off a warning for y'all. But nonetheless, whether it's a warning or not, a serious storm there. Again, that's going to put it right over there at Utah, just due north of Bolagie, Alabama. Now, we have approximately 20 minutes remaining on this tornado warning for Kemper County. Let's see, that last update was 1 minute ago. So we're good on that update. As we go down, let's look at Clark County. Nothing bad happening there. We do now show that we had pea-sized hail in southern Lauderdale County as we look there. Clark County, everything has been good. As we look back at that, I checked with our friends down in Clark. There was no damage reported of that. Clark County Hot Topics said, to their knowledge, nothing had happened. That is good. If you have seen something, some garbage can damage, we all know how that happens. Picks those up and throws them away. Let us know what's happened in your neighborhood if you happen to know that. As we go down here to South Mississippi, you see that? We've had 2 tornadoes reported there, one here at Vicksburg. They're just kind of scattered all over the area. Now, to my knowledge, we have been extremely fortunate not to have any long track tornadoes. To my knowledge, we hadn't had it. We've had these little whirlies. Sometimes we wake up to find a little bit different. But to our knowledge, none of that has happened. We still focus on Kemper County, and we got more occurring here. We've just had more tornado warnings issued. And again, y'all look at this. Here's Meridian. Here's Bay Springs. It's moving northeast. What are the odds that another one could fire off for us? Pretty strong. Y'all be careful I know this is getting near bedtime for a lot of people. Some people can sleep and it not faze them a bit to worry about it. It does me. This is not a night to not have your radio or a device that will notify you that an alarm has gone off to follow us and get up. Mandy Haley, how are you doing? I see you stirring in Waholic. Why not Mississippi? Good for a while. You are for a while there. This is what we're going to watch, though. And again, as we've looked at this, that outlook right around midnight is what we're going to probably see this scrolling in this area. We want to, I want you to get rest, but we don't want you at the benefit of this other. As we keep looking at this, this cold front pushes across these south storms are going to increase in our area into the wee hours of the morning. So the rain is not over. We've got another round coming here. Let's look at what we've got. Tornado warning until 10:45. This is for Eastern Simpson, Smith, Lawrence, Covington, and Jefferson Davis County. Now, as we all know, Smith County is not that far away. You always hear about those Smith County watermelons. Well, it's getting right up here to Mize. McGee is included in this. Here's Taylorsville. It will be just due west of you there in Taylorsville as we look at this tonight. Monticello is where the eye of this storm is right now. We show that we've had Jasper County, some reports of a tornado earlier there. Power lines down.
Is there any warnings around the Newton County line?
It is now. It's been canceled for Newton County, and it is now Neshoba County and Kemper County only.
Someone was asking.
We
Didn't know if it was a mistake or not.
We expect that one, and really the threat has now gone out of Neshoba County. If you'll look at that, it's just barely hanging on. Let's turn on our location so you can get a good view of this. Here's Talbot. As you get right here, 491, where it junctions into, this is going to be County Road 4300 as it runs into Kemper County. It's right there at the Kemper County line. The biggest threat lies in between there and Damascus. Look at that rain. Y'all be careful back over to the coal plant. Now this is crossed over 16, this heavy rain. Rain is running right up to Kemper Lake at this point. Now that's not in the watch box area as we look at this. And it's only 15 minutes remaining on this as this tornado warning will die down in 15 minutes is what we're expecting. It's Mother Nature. You never know. Could it be extended further into eastern Kemper? It could. We'll watch it. But right there in the heart of this, look at New Hope Volunteer Fire Department. Doubt you could find your fire truck at this point. It's heavy there. We've got heavy rain around DeKalb at this point also. Downtown DeKalb. This is going to be just east of town. It almost makes it to Townsend Road. About right here is going to be the new dump. Right about there. As you come down Sickanotchee Hill, when you get to the bottom, it'll quit for just a moment as you go past there in this dirt road that takes you back in the old way to Scuba, and then on into Scuba. And then you pass Townsend, and right along in here would be what used to be. You notice I have to refer to things as how they used to be, because they're not there anymore. The roadside park, it's a thing of the past, isn't it? Make Kemper County great again. Bring back. Well, that's the only one we had. Took the only four-way red light we had in the county from Scuba. It's gone. Lord have mercy. I remember as a kid, you'd be coming in from Meridian, and you could get about right there, and you could see that old blinking yellow light. It meant that Scuba was right ahead of you. It's gone. I'll cry about it another day. Chicken Shack, all these areas down through here, Townsend Road as it winds around down to Highway 45 there, and that stretch after you drop off 2 Mile Bottom and you get into that flat place right there as you turn to go to Jack Webb's store, you cross that. That's about where the line will kick off, and this will go up to about Sickanotchee, right there at the wood yard. Cuts back across before you get to Scuba, back out here, back out into the some of these pine treed areas that we've got all this Weyerhaeuser land getting a lot of action. We do see now right across that Bama state line, we do have a tornado warning that has been issued. Utah, Alabama, tornado warning until 10:30. If you're in that area, seek shelter now. Utah, Greensboro, all of that area there, just east of Gainesville, Alabama, under a tornado warning, due north of Livingston, those areas north of Demopolis and Greensboro. Now let's back this off. Now I can almost, the way this is going, we may have just got that dropped. It does look like they just dropped the tornado warning. This is going to be something to reckon with, I believe, here in just a little while. It has not shown any signs that they're going to drop this. Let's zoom in on this and see what we've got. Pretty nasty looking little storm as we look at the eye. The 69 mile an hour shear winds is sitting just below a 7. This is at 6.1 is what we've got, a 58 mile an hour shear wind behind the eye of the storm that's hovering right at 70 miles an hour. We move up into Monticello. Now this part here just got dropped from the tornado warning. Monticello, Mississippi, right there. We're showing that this is a 6.6 on that scale of 1 to 10 as we grade all of this. We come up, this will take in the McGee area. Now, if it were to continue, as you look at this, it would go right through Silverina and up through Lewin and Montrose and then on into Lauderdale County. We don't know that it will continue to be one, but it is definitely moving in the direction that it could do that. LaWanda says very light rain there in Portable now. I know that's a good news feeling for you there. No wind yet, thank goodness. well, small shower there at Newton County, and they have not dropped that. They just made that watch box area a little bit smaller in Kemper County as we look at this. So let's turn on these locations where you can see that as well. This will be right due north now of the power plant. And it's going to be due east of right there from Cleveland over. You go about a mile. Let's look at that. That's going to be 493, just past 493 there at the junction. We'll call it right here. Let me put these on here where I can see that little road there. This is going to be at Smith Cemetery is where this is, which is Grace Road. That is where our tornado watch box picks up right there and goes east and doesn't quite make it all the way to Scuba. But that's what we're looking at as we see these watch boxes. Still a thunderstorm warning there also for Kemper County until 10 o'clock also. Both of these will burn out in roughly 11 minutes from now. I don't expect it the way it's been moving to be extended to the Bentonville area and Scuba area. We've been wrong on this. It's you can't say, I'm not going to second guess them. I just don't see it, but they could extend it. You just never know what's going on with that. As we look back up here, due northwest of Louisville, here's McCool. French Camp got a pretty good storm going at this point. Stark Vegas, just due north of y'all. Y'all have got this. Now, this yellow area, if you're looking here going, what is all of that? This yellow area is our tornado watch box until 2 a.m. Yeah, how does that make y'all feel?
Not happy.
That'll keep you up at night. All of this area has this. Let's go down to South Hattiesburg, still looking good in those areas there. That's a pretty big storm there. A lot of fog. We've got more of this over at Ruston, Monroe, those areas there. This is what will affect, let's turn this off. Now again, as we talked about what's going on down here in Louisiana, we've got some showers there at Woodville. Could this stuff pick up and get worse? It absolutely could. Hang on here. Let me see if I can find. Let me see what I can find out here of future advances of what possibly could happen for us here in the future. All right, as we look at Kemper County now.
Someone sent you a picture on Messenger of the rotation in Kemper County.
Okay. All right, as we move this forward, I'm looking at midnight. We're going to have showers moving right into Newton County around 12:30. Jasper County, Newton County, pretty heavy rainfall there. This moves across and right at between 12:30 and 1 o'clock, heavy rain moves back into northwestern Lauderdale County. Winston County, you're going to be covered up at that point. Lauderdale County, 1:30, it is dumping buckets of rain where you cannot see. This stretches back across Newton, back into Forest, into Scott County. We still have heavy rain at 2 a.m. all across Meridian and Newton. This will stay primarily north of Clark County. We got a shower here at 2:15 happening in Jasper. It finally makes its way into Clark County right around 3 a.m. It's going to be heavy there in Clark County. Also, most of Lauderdale County still at 3 a.m. is going to be dumping buckets of rain, as at 3:30 is heavy from Utah, Alabama back to Meridian. And another shower moving back in right around 4 a.m. So this is not going to stop over the next 20 minutes or so. It's just not. We're going to have more of this coming and going. Now, I had somebody say, Kemper County, Mandy, let's go back up here and pull this up where you can see this. We're still got the tornado warning listed for Kemper County at this point. What is this right here? Flash flood warning up around Starkville area. Now, let's see what we've got here. 7-day turn until 2 a.m. And this will expire roughly in 7 minutes is what we've got. It last updated. Let's do a hard reboot. Lightening up somewhat in Kemper County as we show that, I want to make sure I'm right on this. Yeah, we still got this for another 7 minutes of this area here. But the rain, the intensity has lightened up quite a bit. As we look around this, let's just look at where all we've got the rain in Kemper County, still under this tornado warning. We're moving up to where the backside of this is going to be at New Hope Volunteer Fire Department. That's the backside of it. Still heavy rain downtown DeKalb up to Kemper Lake. Look at the rain there at Kemper Lake. All around there at Spring Hill, just shy of reaching out to Cypress. Eddie, y'all okay over there? As we go up, this will take a run across 39 and right along here before it reaches up into further there. It cuts off with that watch box. Does still take in the Cowboy Church down Townsend Road if you were to cut that way, or west of Highway 45 in that area there in Kemper County. We see that Scuba is got some pretty good rain, but it's got heavier rain that's going to be moving in behind that. So it's not over for y'all yet. I had a question about Union, Mississippi. As we look at Union, Union's free right now. Will it get more rain later? Absolutely. This rain and this long storm is not over for the night by any means. It's going to keep coming there. Mandy Lee says it's very heavy rain in downtown DeKalb, as you'll see it right there. That's West Kemper, and that's Kemper Academy up on top of the hill there. All right, let's go back and look at this. We're showing a lot here down just south of the Neshoba County Fairgrounds. We got heavy rain there in the Dixon community. There's going to be light rain back over here on 15 as you get near Linwood Baptist. Not bad. A little bit of rain there. 5 minutes remaining on that there. As we go down, nothing going on. In Clark right now, we still watch these tornado warnings over here. We hope that this will die out, but we do know that this storm, whatever it is, will make its way across here towards Jasper County, Smith County, and on into Lauderdale County eventually. Hopefully by the time it gets here, it'll just be nothing but a thought. That's what we're hoping for. Starkville, West Point area, we got flash floods in that area also. Let's see here. Let's see. Kemper County, storm moving close to DeKalb and will be very capable of damaging winds is what we're looking at. Let me see. Utah, Alabama, that is still over there for that. That is still got that there as we were talking about the heavy rain there. Not out of the woodwork yet. We're not going to call that till the National Weather Service tells us it's over. We have roughly 4 minutes remaining on that. Let me go here and see what we've gotten. Let's see. You'd mentioned... let's see here. We got some tornado damage reported. I got an inbox there about Lowndes County, some major damage up in that area. Let's see here. Stars and Meehan. We got a lot of rain through there. All right, let's go back up and grab this. Let's see what we're being told here. Kemper County at 9:47, which was 10 minutes ago, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over DeKalb, or 13 miles north of Meridian NAS, moving northeast at 50, so that puts it to the east now of DeKalb. That would, being 10 minutes ago, puts it in between there and Scuba. Now let's go back, take a look. We still got our watch box as we do this final countdown, as we pull this radar back up and see that this still remains of 3 minutes that we're watching. As we look right there at Utah, what's going on there? Let me turn this on where we can see what's happening there at Utah. Tornado warning still until 10:30, and those shear winds not wanting to cooperate, is it? Running about 58, all in that area right there. Scuba getting a heavy rain at this point. Highway 16. DeKalb, again, still getting the worst of this, and then east of 16. It's a little break on each side of that, and then north of there, in those areas there, we're still showing that heavy rain north of 16. It has a little break in between that. A few of those dirt roads as we watch this. 2 minutes remaining on the tornado warning for Kemper County. We back out and look around at all this. This thing has just been wreaked havoc from Louisiana all the way across. Look at that.
Why won't it stop?
It's Mother Nature. She's not going to stop. We've got rain up around Nashville. Y'all be careful.
Does this mean a cold weather front could happen from this?
It's going to take a few days, but we will get some in about a week. We'll have 1 day of cool air, and then it'll warm back up, and then next week we'll see some cooler weather coming there.
Oh boy,
That's what we're learning on all of that. As a matter of fact, we can pull up that. It's telling us right there. We're going to get back into the 70s next week. It will be that following week before we get back down to the 50s.
So right before Christmas.
We'll get into the 50s. I'm not promising you a white Christmas at all. I don't think it's going to happen. Again, we've got 1 minute now remaining on this Kemper County tornado warning. It is extremely shrunk in size of what it was earlier. We see here Monticello, still some bad weather down here to McGee, tornado warning stretching across there. Again, this is moving northeasterly. No threat now for Jasper, Taylorsville in these areas, and Newton, but it is in the path to come that way. Again, we're going to have heavy rain into the wee hours of the morning all through this area. I don't want you to think this, because this ends, that it's over. It's not. It's going to be a little bit more there. Let's see here. All right. That puts us, as we move into this, just a few seconds remaining on that. This is still very active over here south of Tuscaloosa as we look at all of this area. Starting to show, let's look at this right up here. This is just due north of Louisville, south of Ackerman, Sturgis, Mississippi. This will make its way, if you've got those kids up here, thunderstorm warnings moving towards Starkville as we look at this. That's going to be at Starkville in 30 minutes. Might want to give somebody a heads up that it is getting some heavy rain up that way. Mandy says it is starting to ease up there in DeKalb, as you'll start to see that. All right, that shows us that our warning has expired. Let's refresh to make absolutely sure. And that has died and gone away now. So congratulations, we've made through another one tonight. Do I think this is the last time we will see each other tonight? I do not. I think we will have to meet up again before this night ends. But the good news is we don't have anyone hurt that I'm aware of. That's wonderful. We could be telling you different stories at this point. I did get a follow-up on the story that when we were live earlier on that last one, of a young lady that called and said that she heard gunshots. She did hear gunshots, and it was a lady that was walking the sidewalk in front of her house that fainted from it. It scared her, and she fell out, and I don't blame her. It scared her that bad. But the bullets were down the street. She didn't get hurt, but that had to be a very, very scary situation. That was Davis Street, right off of 8th Street in Meridian is where that happened, if y'all wanted to know what the follow-up was on that. Brittany Dove, what are you doing tonight? Good to see your smiling face there. Hope everything's good in your world. We will be back. Let's back out where you can see what's happening across the state of Mississippi. Again, we will watch this area right here to the southwest of our area. As we see there, it has the potential to move through here. Let's hope this fades away in a little bit and doesn't reach us. That's what we're hoping for. We'll see you back, and I want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you for choosing me to trust me with giving you the weather. It means a lot. We do appreciate it each time that we go live. We try to give you the absolute latest information and detail that we can. Thanks a bunch, and we'll see you soon. Thanks a lot for joining us here at the Scotty Ray Report.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners: